I'm Nicholas Clark. I live up in the hills in North Berkeley. We have a second child on the way and running out of space in the house, and I work from home, so I needed an office to continue working from home, and so we decided to remodel the garage to turn it into a living space. So when I decided to search for a general contractor, there are a number of things that I knew I needed and some things I didn't know I needed. And so we're just kind of starting from the beginning, wanting to talk to different people, getting a sense for what we could do to the garage to turn it into something that I'd be happy working in and day out. And so I wanted to find somebody who could help me imagine what the space would look like, that I could have confidence in, that they could operate and get it done in a quick timeline. Cost was always something that we needed to think about as well. And I just really wanted somebody that cared more about the outcome of the project than even I did. Yeah, so when I was looking at different contractors, I reached out to a number of different people just based on reviews, looking at some of the work that they did, pictures that were online. Tried to qualify or disqualify people right away based on their prior work. And then a lot of it had to do with when they came out, talking to them, whether or not I had a good feeling with them, whether or not I thought they would operate with the right urgency, whether they'd have a high attention to detail, so a lot of different things. But what was it about We Do Construction that I think made me want to go with them? It was a lot of different things. Talking to all the different contractors, everybody came with a slightly different energy. What I remember about Jacob is he showed up on time. He was followed up quite a bit with us, made sure that we were ready when he was going to get here, walked through the space with us. He very much wanted to understand what we wanted to get out of the space, and he made sure to include my wife in all of those conversations. But what I liked about Jacob is he also had a lot of opinions on things that we could do. He is considerably more attentive to detail than I am, and so he was pointing out a lot of things that I wouldn't have thought about, that another contractor might have just not cared about doing. And so I really got the impression that he would make it a space that I was really, really happy with. After we had our first discussion, he followed up almost immediately with a quote and had timelines that he could work with us on. And so I really got the sense from him that if we went with We Do Construction, the project would get done well in advance of our second child coming, and that was something that was pretty important to us. Yeah, so it was important to us to, one, make sure that the people that we were working with had done similar projects or had done good work before and were capable of doing the work that we needed. Second, it was people that could align with our vision and actually help craft a vision with us, what the space should look like, and all the different things that we needed to be thinking about. How should we think about floors? How should we think about insulation? How should we think about the windows? And Jacob was somebody that really did a good job to educate us on what we should be thinking about through this process, as well as somebody that was really willing to work with the different types of constraints or visions that we had as well. Yeah, so how did Jacob assure me that he was the right person for the project? There are a few different ways. I'm a pretty big gut-driven person, and I think Jacob had a really good energy where he seemed trustworthy, he seemed curious. He met my daughter, my 2-year-old daughter, when he was over here, and it seemed like somebody that I was just really comfortable around. And second, I think the best way that you can tell what somebody's going to do is you see how they keep to their word with other things. And so him showing up to the appointment on time to talk through it, him following up really quickly, are just small little examples of him saying something and then following up on it. And that gave me a lot of confidence that he would do the same with the rest of the project. With some of the other contractors we talked to, they said they would send a quote within a certain number of days, and they never did, or I had to follow up with them. And with Jacob, he was very much the person pushing the project forward. The experience of the remodel was honestly not bad at all. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was concerned that it might be unpleasant to live here as it was happening. But we had talked about the right hours to work before we started, so that we didn't wake up our daughter, but that we started the project early in the morning, and we agreed on the right timelines during the day for it, and he stuck to it, and his team did. And so that was great. They made sure to take care of the rest of the house as they were moving things in and out. They sequenced the project really well, where it was, okay, we don't want your neighbors to know that we're doing a renovation inside your house, so let's get that out of the way immediately so that we can just come into the house and not cause a lot of disturbance with the people, with our neighbors. When he was here, they made sure to ask questions up front so that they can go and do uninterrupted work. If there was something that he wasn't sure how we would like it, he made sure to talk to us so that he wasn't surprising us with any decisions that were made. If there was something that we had agreed on doing before but he thought might not be the right outcome, he would make sure to discuss it with us so that we would be really, really happy with how the project turned out. The staff really treated our house well. They put down whatever you call the things on the floor so that you don't make scratches. They didn't dent any walls, no disturbances to any part of the house, and high attention to detail on the garage remodel that they did. For somebody considering we do construction, every remodel or every project is very personal, but the thing that I feel very comfortable with is Jacob and the rest of the team are people that really want you to be happy with the work that's happening, and he's somebody that if you get aligned on the right vision and then the right price, 100% should go with them, because he's not going to stop until you're satisfied and really happy. Jacob helped form a vision for us where there are certain things I knew I wanted. Like I wanted a floor in there so it wasn't a cold garage, wanted to redo the windows so that again it wasn't cold, but most of my vision was about not being cold sitting in a garage. And he just kept re-emphasizing, no, this is a place you're going to be spending a lot of time working day in and day out. We need to make it feel like home. And so he very much brought a lot of ideas around paint colors and things to create depth and warmth, and really turned it into a living space and not just a place where I don't get cold when I'm working. Yeah, if you're considering doing something to your house, some sort of renovation, you got to reach out to Jacob, have a conversation with him. I'm sure you'll feel the same way that I did.